Hi, and welcome to Firebird Theatre Company. We're so happy to welcome you to our family and would like to congratulate you on all your hard work up until this point that got you here. Your journey starts today. So today I'll be talking about your daily responsibilities as a music intern, working for the shows through age groups 13 to 18. Today we'll be discussing warming up, how to effectively teach new materials, and how to effectively review previously learned materials. So let's get started. First thing I would like to explain is the process of warming up your students. Warming up your students is very important because it not only promotes healthy singing, but it also allows them to center themselves before they have to focus on the music that they're going to be learning for the day. They are in middle school and high school, but it doesn't mean their attention doesn't wander. First, you want to lead the group in several stretches to help wake up their bodies because singing is a full body experience. Up on the slides, as you can see, I put a couple examples. The first example here is a neck roll. It's very simple. Goes like this. The next example up in the upper is the ragdoll stretch, where you simply lean over yourself and slowly roll up your vertebrae. Another one is a shoulder roll, and the final one is the cross crawl. All of these exercises and stretches really do help warm up your whole body and engage all of your breathing muscles and all of the other muscle groups that you want to work on when you're singing. Next, you want them to work on centering and encouraging good posture and breath before they sing. One way that I really like to do this is breathing through a straw or doing unpitched lip trills. I put a diagram of a good example of posture. It's really great because it shows when you fall too far forward as well as when you also fall too far backwards. So it's just something to look for in your students. Maybe show them this diagram to try to encourage them to sing with very good posture. Along with this, you want to do some, like I said, breathing through straw, unpitched lip trills, big dog and little dog pants, which just encourage a low breath, something kind of like versus so big dog and like chihuahua pants are something that's really fun for students. Another thing is hookatupus, which engage your diaphragm. It sounds like so hopefully looking back at this video will help you to encourage your students to use these methods. Finally, you want to engage your students in a few 3 or 4 vocal warm-ups that you yourself are very comfortable teaching. Anything from scales to something that you and the students create together. Just something that's going to get their voice moving and engage the breath that we just worked so hard on. Great. So now that you know about how to warm up your students, let's talk about how to effectively teach the new music for the day. So, our students come from all different musical backgrounds and places in their musical journey, so it's important that each session really caters to the needs of a wide variety of students. First, you should begin by playing the song that you're going to be working on that day. This will allow the group to kind of get a feel for the music they'll be learning. Next, you'd like to play the song again for the group and encourage them to either sing along if they're comfortable or just follow along in their music. A lot of the times in our groups, the students are really eager to learn their music once they've received their roles. So oftentimes they'll come in already learning their music and already knowing it. So you don't have to work as hard to go through every single note. This kind of cuts out that step. Then, after the first sing-through, ask the students if they have questions about specific areas of a song, and if they do, go over them. If there's specific questions, play through the treble spots in the piano, for the whole group, asking all of the voice parts to sing the part that the group is struggling with. This will encourage everyone to support the group that's struggling and also for them to learn about the different vocal parts in the music. It's just a really great skill. If there are no questions, then you should encourage the students to sing with the rehearsal track that will be provided to you. We do use the rehearsal tracks during the performances and not a live orchestra. So the sooner that we can get students onto the recorded vocal track, the better. So after running through the piece with the vocal track once, if there are any questions, go and repeat step 4, which was simply to ask the students where the treble spots were, play them through on the piano, etc. If there are no questions, this is your time to go back and work on the music that you feel like the students are struggling with and use the same method as before. Make sure that you encourage the students that asking questions is a great thing because you're just going to go over the music anyway. After all the trouble areas have been addressed, encourage the students to stand as they perform the piece with the rehearsal track 1 or 2 times until they feel comfortable. And when they stand, make sure that they incorporate that great posture that you worked on earlier in your warm-up. Now that I've explained how to effectively conduct a rehearsal for a new piece, let's discuss how to review a previously learned piece. Our students do more than just work on music all day. They have plenty of other activities like acting workshops and dancing workshops. And as a result, sometimes they're going to forget previously learned music. So it's important to review all the music that you've learned previously, or as many pieces as time permits each day. To begin with the piece that you as the music director feel needs the most work. A lot of times this is group numbers. As group numbers, you generally want to teach in 2 or 3 days using the same method as before. So a lot of the times when you try to put these group numbers together, they'll kind of fall apart. So make sure that maybe you run the group numbers first, the big numbers, in your music review first. It'll have the students working collaboratively and putting a bunch of pieces of a puzzle together almost. So it sometimes takes a little longer for those. So I would suggest starting with that. After singing through the piece of the rehearsal track, ask students if they have any concerns or address your own concerns about the previously learned piece. It's always good to go back over and review. Like I said, sometimes things fall out of their heads or fall out of your head. And so it's just as good to go back and review the things that they have questions about or you have concerns about. When there are specific questions in the music, as I said, you want to play through the trouble spots. And do this with as many songs as time permits you for the day. We do have to divide up our time between the 3 different areas, acting, dance, and singing. So unfortunately, not all the time is yours, but you do want to really make sure that the students have a good handle of their music each day and continue to review the pieces that you've learned. Don't let one piece sit too long being undone. My recommendation is when you know you have about 10 minutes left in the day, do a song that you know the students love or that you know that makes them really happy, because a lot of the times that leaves them with a great feeling for the day and a reminder that they really love music in case your earlier rehearsal was a little bit tricky. So as it says, remember, have fun making music, because that's what you and the students are really here for, is to learn from each other, learn from one another. And that's what it's really all about, is having a good time and encouraging a love of the arts. So in conclusion, today I've gone over how to effectively engage students in a warm-up, how to conduct a new song rehearsal, and how to review previously learned music. Please contact me with any further questions 1 week or so prior to your session start date so that we're able to address or answer any concerns or questions that you may have. And I'm so happy that you're here to join our Firebird family. Thank you.